Hey y'all, this is Tim Flood from Rural Land Watch. We are continuing our great series on selling your land in Oklahoma. The next question I want to cover relates to owner financing. And the question is, a buyer wants to know if I will do owner financing. What does that mean? And if I do choose to do owner financing on this one Oklahoma property, how do I set that up? Well, owner financing is something that's done in land sales all the time, and one of the reasons is because banks are reluctant to loan money on raw pieces of land. So many times, the buyer will offer to put a substantial amount down, and the owner finance the rest at a certain percent interest. So it's a real good way to do it. I want to just use Google here to show you a few little things here, and I've actually I need to go back. So what I did here was on Google, just typed in owner finance agreement, and I was looking for one from LegalZoom or Bigger Pockets, but the first one that came up was this owner financing contract on Jot form. And then here's the template. And so then just there's some other, Investopedia has some information on it, um, and so forth. Here's a link, Stewart Title. This is a contract for owner finance. So you can just find a standard template online. A couple things that you need to just be aware of is that while you are in the contract term, while the buyer is making the payments to you, you do need to get a substantial down payment. So to make sure that this buyer has some skin in the game to make it going to hurt for him just a little bit if he walks away from it. You need to make sure to cover in your contract who's going to pay the taxes. The tax assessor will still look to you because your name is on the vesting deed, and so it is still your property until you transfer your interest to the buyer. So they're going to be looking to you for taxes. So you need to spell that out in your contract, who pays for that. And then if your property happens to be in an HOA, you need to cover that in your contract, who's going to pay for those dues. Another thing to think about is putting some clauses in there to protect your property, such as things like chainsaw and tree trimming kind of work, permanent structures. You want to make sure to spell out clauses about trash on your property, because those are the kind of things that can go wrong. A lot of times when people want land out in the country, they've got these plans and they're going to do this and they're going to build this experimental earthship, and they're going to bring in connexes and create housing out of connexes, and they're going to plastic totes and tires, and they're going to do all this stuff. So you need to really spell all that stuff out in your contract. Another thing that you need to be aware of is that a lot of times in this buyer owner finance market, a lot of times these buyers will just kind of vanish on you. This is, well, that's just the reality of it. That's sort of the level of this market, and people will just walk away from it. And so that it can be a good thing for you, because if you've collected a substantial down, then you can resell the property, and the property can become very profitable to you over the long term. So that's just kind of a quick and basic. There's lots of templates online. I would expect to find stuff at Bigger Pockets on owner financing, Investopedia. And again, I just typed in owner finance agreement here on Google, and I'm finding all kind of stuff. You can do things like this. I just typed in here loan amortization schedule, and I just made up an example that you had a $10,000 piece of land that the buyer put $2,500 down on, so the amount to be financed was $7,500. I figured the mortgage term would be maybe 5 years, 60 months, and I just would say that the interest rate would be 10%, a little higher since you're providing the financing. So that will calculate out your monthly payments and give you some idea how to do that. The other thing that I like to do is just in Excel, when you go to new documents in Excel, you can do loan amortization. And here's a few templates online for you already. And I have used this one before. I like this one. And then again, the loan amount, let's just say that 10,000 less the 2,500 is for the down payment is 7,500. Again, let's assume the 10% interest over 5 years. 12 payments per year. We're going to start paying off the loan right now. Optional payments is nothing. And then, so again, here's your scheduled payment of $159.35 with your principal and interest breakdown. And so again, your total interest made is, not quite $600. Make sure you talk to your tax professional about this. Just make sure you have your strategies lined out. You've made just a little bit of money on the financing. You want to report everything and record everything properly. You don't want to get any trouble for this. Owner financing can be a really good way to go. You can just read a little bit about it. Make sure you have a contract to protect yourself, and just put a simple amortization chart in your contract. So I hope this helps. This is Tim Flood with Rural Land Watch.